Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and tonight I wanted to pop on and talk about PMDD and the effects on your system, as well as weight gain, inability to lose weight, and the other hormonal extreme disruption that this can cause in your body and in your life. So this was a question I got recently. Oh my gosh, I just heard about this. What is this? What does it do? How does it affect you? Could I have had this? How come I didn't know this was a thing? Well, sit back and buckle up, because there are so many issues and things that women experience that are a result of a hormonal imbalance, and the entire medical community does not take into account all these things. Meaning, this is a new thing, relatively speaking, that women may suffer from or whatever. When we look even at PMS is, premenstrual syndrome. That was something that, the medical community started talking about 20 to maybe 30 years ago. And even when that first came on the, scene, there was a lot of docs that were like, that's not a thing. That's right, because it's a male-dominated field, et cetera, et cetera. It was a thing like, oh, that's really, do women really have that? Yes, hello, right? Most women, majority of women, like 90% of women, experience some physical shift or change in their body before their period onsets. Yep. Yeah. 97% or something was one of the recent things I read. So that's a normal thing. And again, when you look at the history and how this actually helps or doesn't help women, yeah, that was a new thing. And now this is becoming more well known, or women are realizing, oh my gosh, that's me. I'm not crazy. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I want women who are struggling with something to know that you're not crazy. This is a thing, and there's a lot of things you can do to help your system work through this phase. Yes. Okay. So first I want to talk about what PMDD is, typical things that happen, and then just some other things that you can do to help your system work through this. Now, of course, this is something that I help women with in the 12-week challenge. So if you are not on the wait list for the next 12-week challenge that I have, I want you to go in the comments right now and get on that wait list. I just put up the link. So get on the wait list for the 12-week challenge. What's interesting is that every time I do a group, the challenge, I start another round, I have women that, start the 12-week challenge, and they either have this or had this and still have issues post, a hysterectomy, post menopause, things like that. So I want you to know that this is something that's absolutely valid, and there's a ton of stuff you can do. So again, get in the comments on that wait list. PMDD, it literally stands for premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It's classified generically as it's extreme PMS. What's the difference between just PMS and PMDD? This can be a little bit different for each person. Classic PMS, right, symptoms, you're gonna have sore or tender breasts, you can have cramps, you can have bloating, increased water retention, right? You're gonna gain a little bit of weight. It's normal to gain a pound or two towards the end. Again, your uterus is twice the size at this point, and you're holding more blood volume in your system. So duh, right? Yeah, that's a normal thing too, right? These are all normal, right? These are normal shifts and changes. To feel a mood shift, right? To be a little crabby or not sleep as well, all that stuff. Your digestive system can be a little bit slower. Again, creating, adding to that bloat and some of those other things, right? Most of the time when you look up something, you're going to see just mood, right? PMS, oh, you're crabby. PMS, like, oh my God, there's so much more that goes into it with the system. So here's my thought process on this. Yes, your hormones are different here, right? That we're talking specifically about, I want to use a different, right? We're talking specifically about, this can be the 3 to 5 days right before your period starts. This phase right here, right? That's what we're talking about. So yes, your mood can naturally just change at that point, and you can be a little more irritated in general. That's normal. But if you think about it, like your boobs are sore, your digestive system slowed down, and you're getting constipated more easily, and You're not absorbing nutrients as easily. You just feel puffy. I mean, you're holding more fluid in your system, right? Like all these, you're not sleeping as well because progesterone can disrupt your sleep pattern a little bit. Yeah, I wouldn't be as happy either, right? That doesn't set you up for like the best day ever the next day. So, right? Like if you have a cold or you feel sick, you're not like in the best mood that day. Duh. So your body is in a different place here. So yes, that can contribute to, oh, I'm having a little different mood, right? Normal. But it's also normal to feel more sensitive to things, that type of a thing. But typically, how I describe PMS versus PMDD to women is PMS, you can still navigate your day. You know what I mean? You can still get through your day just fine. I mean, you might have to tweak things here or there. You might have to work out differently, try and get more rest, fuel differently, of course. That's what I teach you how to do in the 12-week challenge. Fuel your body differently, eat for your hormones in your cycle, so you are able to function really, really well. And a lot of these symptoms decrease or go away at this point. When you're looking at PMDD, the difference there and how I describe it is that it is such an extreme shift, and this can be physical and or the mental shift with and it's related to your hormones, that it disrupts your day. It disrupts how you want to do things, and it disrupts how you want to exist in your life. It disrupts how you talk to people. It disrupts, like you will say things that you're like, oh, I did not want to say that. You have extreme mood swings. You get really, really angry or become like a different person. And it's like you're trapped in this different person's reaction, and you're like, this is not me. I don't like it. I don't want it, but I can't get away from it. And then you start your period and you're fine. Easy breezy. Just great. You have this extreme shift when your hormones change. So a lot of women, they'll feel like, oh my gosh, I just have really bad PMS, or I'm a little nuts. I'm a little crazy. What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you. You have an extreme hormone shift, and if your body is slow in processing and metabolizing some of these hormones, it can have this effect. Yes, your hormones, the estrogen and progesterone, they go everywhere in your body. They cross the blood-brain barrier. So yes, they do affect your system. And if there's an imbalance between these, it can affect how your brain functions. It's not the real you. You know what I mean? It's not how you want to be. It's these hormones cross the blood-brain barrier and affect how your system functions. So a great way to go about it is to work on both things at once. Oftentimes when I work with women and they do the 12-week challenge with PMDD, I work on the stress effect that those hormones have on the brain, as well as getting everything regulated better in your body, getting your body to flush out any excess hormone. That makes a huge difference. So most people recognize the PMDD because of the mood part. It's an extreme mood swing that causes that, and that it disrupts your life. Now, there's also women that I work with that will have not only the mood shift, but also different physical symptoms, pain. Oftentimes it's pain in the body. Sometimes it's really severe cramps. Sometimes it is around your reproductive organs. Sometimes it is other pain in the body. You might feel really achy joints. You might feel completely fatigued. Just, I can barely move my arms today. I don't know what's happening. Right? And then you have your period and you're like, oh, I'm good. Gosh, did I really feel that bad? Am I nuts? That's where we go with our thought process. And in reality, what it is that you have such a hormonal imbalance, and your body is fighting processing that extreme hormone shift there, that it causes those physical symptoms for you, right? So you're not nuts. This is a real thing. Along with the pain and other things like that, what often happens for women in terms of weight is that it's normal to gain weight throughout the month. It's normal to have a shift in your weight. You can have, I say a couple of pounds. This could be a 5-pound shift that can be normal for your body. Absolutely. This is where tracking your biometrics is really important. Are you getting 5 pounds fatter here? No, it's just your body's reaction to, you know, the shift in hormone. But if you're gaining more than 5 pounds, if you're having a weight gain of 8 pounds, 10 pounds or more, I have worked with women that they're like, here in my cycle at the beginning of the month, I feel great, I'm doing awesome, blah, blah, blah. By the end of the month, I'm 12 pounds heavier. I feel like garbage. My body hurts. And I feel nuts. What the heck? And of course, being like 12 pounds heavier is not going to be helpful for how you're thinking about yourself, right? They all kind of play into each other. So that is more of a physical, you know, classification of the PMDD. That is where PMDD comes in, and it is like a real bad hormone imbalance and shift, and your body has a hard time dealing with it. So you are absolutely gaining that much weight. Now, right, wait, it's not actual fat tissue that you're gaining. It is a lot of the fluid and inflammatory response that your body has. Now, here's something to keep in mind though. If that is your system, your body is able to increase metabolism and burn fat only this point here, because that's when your body's functioning well, maybe 2 weeks out of the month, because after that you slowly drift into the PMDD phase. You are actually trying to do like 1 step forward, 2 steps back every month. So in terms of that weight gain, if you're not nice to your body, and a lot of women, this is where they struggle with this. If you're not nice to your body and you are suffering from some of these PMDD issues and you're not doing the right thing for your system, supporting it with the right fuel, supporting it with the right nutrients, the right supplements, getting enough rest, this can actually carry over then into the next month. Meaning, instead, when you gain 12 pounds by the end of the month, the next month you might be like, okay, I should be down 12 pounds again at my normal weight. You might only be down 11. And then you repeat that again, but then gain 12. And then only get down 11. So that this happens over the course of a year, and all of a sudden, you're 10 pounds up overall. And then another year of it, and another 10 pounds up, and another year, and another 10 pounds up. So all of a sudden, 3 years later, you're 30 pounds heavier, and you're totally stuck and baffled as to why. You're like, I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, I'm doing all this stuff. I just have a hard time with my body every month. And that can be the thing that's really holding you back. There's no amount of perfect diet. There's no amount of exercise. No time on the treadmill that will fix PMDD enough so that you can, you know, just start losing weight and keep it off. The real tricky thing about PMDD is that you don't come out of it in a month. You have to work with your body's system for a proper amount of time to let everything really function well, to have this decrease. Now, this does not mean it goes away or gets better, right? A lot of times with a major hormonal issue, the problem is not here. The problem is an upstream problem with how your body handles, produces, and deals with these hormones. So that's where we start. There's a lot of people that I will recommend they get a Dutch test so I can see where your hormones are off. I get exact pathways of where we need to correct, right? So if you have questions on that, don't hesitate to reach out to me on the Dutch test, because that really lets me know what's happening upstream with the rest of your system to cause some of these issues too, the hormonal imbalance. But it does take time to flush out, to go through this and to really help reset your hormones. What I recommend for women, in terms of if you're like, oh my God, this sounds like me, oh my gosh, I might not gain 12 pounds, but I gain 8 pounds every month, and I have some aches and pains. Now that I think about it, it is at that time, and I do feel like I'm crazy. Oh my gosh, I have some pieces of this. Absolutely. Then you more than likely have PMDD, and this is something that can really help you. So besides eating for your hormones in your cycle, my book, The Female Fat Solution, I do talk about how to match your nutrition with estrogen, progesterone, everything else. This is on Amazon, so you can pick this up as a resource. But the 12-week challenge, I go through this with you one-on-one and make sure that you get the right system down and that you make these changes and you're able to keep the progress going. for a lot of women with PMDD, there's ups and downs and other traumas and things in your past that can really affect how we go about this, because your system is one that if you don't do the right steps first, you can actually it can actually backfire on you. So first things, hormone reset, really get everything a clean slate, then make sure you're building up and supporting the right hormones at the right timing throughout, and then continue with boosting the metabolism with the right gentle tactics. If you push yourself too hard, oftentimes this starts to come back, and that's another way you can track your body's metrics in terms of how things are going. How am I feeling? How are my symptoms? Am I making progress? That type of a thing. This is not an easy thing to talk about. This is not an easy thing to go through at all. There's a lot of women that suffer from this. There's over 3 million cases per year. At least 3 million. There's a lot of women, I think, that suffer from this that don't realize this is what it is, because this is not something women know about. Like, there's something other than PMS? Yeah. It's like, this is way beyond. Yeah, I've worked with women that have had this. I am working with women right now that have PMDD, and I have worked with women that have had PMDD in the past once they learned what it was. And there's a ton of stuff you can do, again, that nutrient-wise hormone reset and detox, and really supporting your system so that you know you're not gonna go back to this, because this is really, really, really tough. So many women suffer from this, and there's a ton of stuff you can do for it. So, all right, that's what I got for you guys tonight. Kind of a heavier subject, not super fun to talk about, but I also want you to I want to make sure that women who have PMDD, it is a thing. You are not crazy. Absolutely, you can gain a ton more weight per month than your friend or sibling or neighbor or whatever and they're like, oh yeah, I have PMS too. Oh yeah. That is not the same. That's not the same. No. No, it's like comparing a paper cut to somebody who got their arm chopped off, okay? PMS would be the paper cut. PMDD was getting your arm chopped off. Like in Monty Python, you guys, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, yes, no. Or he chops, it's like, your arm's off. No. Anyway. I like that movie. Okay. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you need any other help or other resources. Other things I have for you, my podcast is called The Female Health Solution. I have a ton of great information there, as well as my YouTube channel, which is just Dr. Beth Westy. You can subscribe to that to stay updated on everything I have coming out. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in. And if you know someone that needs this message, please share this with them. There are so many women that don't know, right? Even though they say there's 3 million cases a year, there's a lot more women that struggle with this because they don't know that this is what they have. So share this with other women. If you guys are talking about PMS, please share this video with them so that they can understand, oh my gosh, this might be it. It might not just be PMS, it might be PMDD. It's enlightening and also a relief when you realize it's not you, you're not crazy, this is a real thing. So I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for being here and for sharing this message, and I will see you guys later.